Hello and good afternoon, viewers. Once again, another riveting edition of the show, Business Steps or Practical Business Steps, brought to you by Enterprise Uganda in partnership with Minister of Finance. I am Charles Wood, your host, as usual. And in the studio today, I have our business coach, again, as usual, Charles Ochichi. You're most welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, and good evening, viewers.
Very good. Now, all the way from Buyende, our entrepreneur, Yassini Magino, as you've already seen in the bumper. Yassine, you're most welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Very good. Charles, it's been a good week indeed. And talking about the money, it seems Uganda's economy is not short of money.
Very true.
But probably how we use the money.
Very true.
And of course, when you tell this to a number of Ugandans, they might look at you with this other eye and they're like,
yeah,
that's
living
this
in
man
another world.
Exactly. But looking at the numbers from the National Social Security Fund and what they're telling us, because every month, almost 50 billion is released in the market, paying people that are retiring, pensioners. And these are few people, considering the fact that the bulk of Ugandans are young people.
Very true.
So you only have a few that are really, really in the evenings.
Very true.
And therefore, even a fewer number of people who have been saving with NSSF and are therefore qualifying to receive NSSF money.
Very true.
Exactly. Tell us, I mean, what is causing this mismatch? Because you don't see many investments started by these pensioners.
People who are getting this money.
Exactly.
Yeah, thank you so much. And I want to tell the viewers that this week I was privileged to be on a webinar where NSSF invited me to talk about how you can use the resources within your hands. And in that submission, there was a presentation from NSSF summarizing the statistics about what they do and how they release money to the public. The two that caught my ears and eyes were the following, that every month, every 30 days, they release between 46 and 51 billion to people who have hit 55 years. At 55 years, you're at your prime, you're still strong, you're still bright, you're still sharp. You've gotten the money. You've been given the billions.
And it comes lump sum.
It comes lump sum.
Yeah.
You've been waiting for it, it has come. Now that's one statistic. The second one says, when these people take this money, then you go and do a survey and evaluate what has happened to them. After 24 months, 72% have gone bankrupt. They got the money. They are still at their prime. The brains are still sharp. They have lost the money. That's painful. And it tells us that it's not that they didn't get the money. It's not that they were not having still sharp brains. They just didn't know what it means to expand resources in your hands. It is one thing to be given no amount of resources, but without the knowledge and the skill to expand it, it will go away in your hands.
That is very powerful and very important because it's not just about the money.
It's not about the money. And just look at it again like this. Now, that is the part of the 5% that this fellow earned money for up to 55 years has been given. He had gotten the other bit of the money all along on his own. He was having it. So you can see how endowed this country is. But at the same time, how wasteful and painfully inefficient we are in investing the resources that come our way. And just to pick a little bit further, there was another statistic which said that of the people who are getting this money, 78% get less than 10 million on retirement. But they have been waiting for it with a lot of patience, and they wanted to hit just at 10 million in their last part of life, only to get it and waste it away in 2 years.
Very interesting. And I think, Charles, that's why we're here. That's why this show is here, to actually help you make wise decisions. I mean, you may not be a pensioner or someone who has qualified for NSSF money, but before that time, you need to prepare yourself for that. And I think the problem is that as people wait for this money to come in, lump sum, there's no preparation.
That's the point.
Exactly. So it comes, and then plans begin.
Exactly. Somebody has been saying, I'm waiting for my money. When my money comes, everything has been crowded into that small basket.
Yes, yes.
And the person who's waiting for the small basket has been practicing wasteful ways.
Yeah.
and finally it gets delivered. And then they tell him, please, that is all you have in your life. Run. Jumps in and just rubbishes the whole thing.
Thank you, Charles. I think we'll dedicate, we'll dedicate a session to really look at addressing the pensioners. Because I know among our viewers, we have those that are aging towards the evenings of their lives.
Yes.
Those that are already there.
Yes.
And I mean, as a must, because we as we grow, we don't look backwards.
Every day you lose, every day you have gone through, it's gone.
Exactly. So we need to prepare ourselves for the inevitable, as they say. Very good. Viewers, today we have a very important guest, like I said at the beginning, is all the way from Buyende, and is a story of a young man, an entrepreneur who, with interest in different sectors of the economy, talk about real estate, is in fishing, it's actually fishmongering.
Yeah.
Although fishmongering is
yes,
yes. But I mean, at the end of the day, if it brings the Benjamins, as they say, that's what matters. But anyway, he's going to tell us his full story. And the topic for today, we're looking at business tips or business steps. How a fresh graduate used university upkeep allowance to create an export business, build rentals, that is sit in real estate, and other businesses, as he's going to unpack them. But before we go into that discussion, Charles, again, it's the time to distill the message of our entrepreneur last week. Very powerful story, and I'm sure those who missed will actually pick quite very interesting points to support their aspirations in business.
Yeah, thank you, Charles, again. And I want to say that whoever is watching this program, never ever imagine that this is a session for young people, a session for people who are educated, a session for people who couldn't make it and they are villagers. This is a session for all of us, all of us. And I normally start by saying, in the previous episode, we hosted a young lady here. And a young lady who branched off early in higher education into a vocational training and got that skill, and from there on she went into business. But my headline learnings come like this. Number one is that it is possible to get passion for whatever you are doing, provided you can discover the difference it makes in people's lives. You've always had the advice which says that, please do what you are passionate about. Then somebody says, am I passionate about moving oranges from Nakawa to Kitintale? Is that passionate? But you can begin to build the passion about that game by saying, there is somebody waiting for juice the other side. There's a patient who needs to be given juice now. And that patient is waiting for me to deliver the fruits from Nakawa, from Kalerwe over to Kitintale on time. Over time, you begin to say, oh, this is the thing I love because there are solutions I'm giving to the society. The day I'm not there, my people will come and check where is the passion fruit seller. So it's okay to be told that do whatever what you are passionate about, but that can delay you for nothing. Start solving people's problems. And as you do that, start saying, how did they enjoy the fish that I supplied? My fish is better than the one another person delivers. Passion begins to get in there. Headline learning number 2 was that there is always enough space for other players in business. So you do not have to either get jealousy over the competition or fear the competition when it arrives. Welcome it, learn from it. If you are concerned about somebody who has come in and then you are saying, now how do I try and disrupt this person, you lose, 1, the learning, 2, you lose the vision to serve the customer better. So please just recognize that it's like Japan. Everybody is trying to, there are so many companies making pickups, and each one is making an amazing quality pickup. If they were just saying, oh no, you have also come to make a pickup, they would have all thought that the only market was in Japan. Now they saw that, okay, we have created a competition within Japan. We built our strength, and that strength will take us to conquer the rest of the world. So please do not fear or misunderstand the value of competition.
I think the word is misunderstanding.
That is the key thing. We have remained rudimentary producers of solutions in Africa Because the moment just somebody begins to do something around us, the first thing an African wants to do is to bring that one down.
Yeah.
So we all remain down. All of us are down.
Yeah.
Then it's okay.
Yeah.
Look at the story of Japan. They began the competition within Japan, and when they were all so powerful, they said, the market out there is ours. Let's go. Let's just go and become Japan occupiers of the rest of the world with all electronics, technology. So competition is beautiful when you see it from that angle. Number 3 headline learning for me is formalization of a business. In the end, it's a good thing.
Yeah.
But it should never delay your getting started in business. Almost every story of a successful entrepreneur never started by saying, when do I register my business? Where do I rent from? Which employee do I hire now? And what is the name I'm going to give it? And then what's the uniform of the workers? And then what time should they be reporting? All these things, you sharpen them, shape them along the way, as you later see from the story of Jackie, a lady who started the business at home.
Yeah.
And today is a major supplier of top-notch solutions of fabric to high-grade consumers. So I just wanted to bring those 3 and tell the listeners that, please, every Sunday as we come to these afternoons, there is a good opportunity for you to learn something. Ignore the faces of the young people that may come here, the faces of people who may be saying, this is a pharmacist. Please don't mind about the word pharmacy. Learn something that that pharmacist is doing. That somebody might be an engineer. Don't mind. Don't mind about the word engineering. How are they going about doing business?
And I always say that the business language is universal.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly. So very quickly, these were the specific lessons that came out of Jackie. That lady who was supposed to have gone very far in her academic career because she was brilliant, but ended up going into a tailoring school, but today having over 60 machines, most of them electric, for making garments, and she has also started a vocational institute. Yeah. So the first thing that I think I got very clearly from her is that God never gives us a video about our future. If God had told this Jackie that, Jackie, please go to that vocational school, do you see your video 5 years from now? Do you see your video 10 years from now? Please enjoy the vocation. She would have jumped and said, it's okay, God, I'm going to go to the vocational college. But God simply says, I'm not going to give you even a dream, even a hint. Walk into that thing and shape it up. Yeah. So, if he did so, many of us would have persevered through the challenges of life, being inspired by the great ending that you saw in the video. But Jackie, a bright student, had to branch off early into a vocational institute, graduated at the top of her class, but still regretted missing her dream of becoming a medical doctor. But here's the good ending, if the video was there. Today, she is a proud and a motivated owner of a garment factory, supplying top-notch customers. You saw how she was talking about how she can get a man with a high-quality suit that needs some kiraka, some repair. And he will watch the threads and say, where do I get the best kiraka to match this kind of a thing, so that this man can continue enjoying this? A suit bought at $1,000. Yeah. You shouldn't throw it away within 1 year because just a small part got worn out. That comes with passion and desire to make your customers happy. But this is the lady was saying, why did I become a tailor? Why? Her students, top scorers, A+. And she's now enjoying seeing them growing in the public arena. Number 2, most people attribute their failure to start a business or to expand a micro business to lack of capital. You know, I cannot increase my enterprise here because I lack capital.
That's a song. It's a very...
And because of that song, Jackie's heard about a loan program by government and said, I'm going to go to Enterprise Uganda because the precondition is that if I don't have that certificate of Enterprise Uganda,
I can't qualify the other
I will
side.
not get that money. She comes for the training. when she came for the training, this is what happened. It was a youth venture capital at that time. She discovered that actually her current micro business could expand and progress very far, but she had lacked business skills, how to run an enterprise. And she quickly illustrated. She said, I lacked customer care. I didn't bother whether you came back or you complained. So long as you have paid me my money, you go. That one does not create a growing enterprise. She lacked business records, marketing skills. And later she also discovered, having been taught about loans, she said, this is not the time to take a loan. But at some point I'll take it. She had come deliberately saying, as soon as I get that certificate, I'm going to run and get my money. And they were calling it our money, the youth money, our money. She discovered she was ignorant. And many of us are like that. Not that you are necessarily trying to target government money. Many of us are saying, I'm not doing well because I have not gotten a bank loan, and you are rushing to look for a bank loan. Yep. Only to discover that there were issues you should have fixed
before you went
for that bank money. 3 is that success in business makes customers give you good suggestions for growth. The people were happy with Jackie told Jackie, why don't you now train my other sister, my other daughter, my other relative in tailoring? You are so good. She said, no, I'm just concentrating. Then another one comes. Then another one comes. What did she do next? She rented the next room, put the machines there, and started a very small vocational institute without registration, but was having customers. But it was the customers who pushed her there. Similarly, as she continued doing a good job, her own customers, the big clients were making orders from her, said, you know what, Jackie? We want you to bring for us 3,000 pieces of an item. But please do whatever it takes for you to go and get money, wherever you are, whether it's at the bank or wherever, just go and get that money. So as you serve your customers, you get more ideas and guidance from the very people that you are serving to diversify into things you never would have managed to go and do. Fourthly, concentrate on building trust. And this came out more because as Jackie did a good job, she built good client respect and repeat businesses. And when that happened, she then decided to formalize her business. As she formalized her business, she also started now to fulfill things that are required for you to bid for big-time business opportunities. She now had to get all the registration certificates. She had to get all the things, including certification of some of her products. But as she did that, she started to win these contracts on merit. And as she won them on merit, using the letters of comfort from these big companies, she was able to break that big hurdle we always talk about, failure to get a loan from a bank. A letter from an international agency that was a client of Jackie was sufficient for the bank to say, it's okay now. If these people are trusting you, who are we not to trust you?
I think that was a very powerful message.
Exactly. The bankers are saying, these fellows are of international repute. They have trusted you. They have given you this deal, and they are going to pay through our bank account. Please, Jackie, come. And when that happened, and Jackie paid on time, the biggest challenge on Jackie today is not how to get more money, but to tell bankers that, please, not now. Many want to give her more loans and more loans, implying building trust is a gateway to almost anything. We call it in our training, we call it international currency. The moment you are trusted, you've just acquired international convertible currency. Finally, remain visionary. 10 years from now, Jackie says she will have built a family house to say, I deserve to be comfortable. She will have also built a home for the vocational institute where she will be saying, I am going to create and build the finest tailors Uganda needs, and maybe the rest of Africa. Those were the stories and the lessons from the young lady Jackie.
Thank you, Charles. And I'm sure our viewers have picked very critical lessons there. Again, the approach is to make it as practical as possible. That's why we bring real people in business. Because, I mean, from them, you can actually know. Because, you know, Charles, there are many times when someone will tell you, you know, we read these textbooks. Those are textbook solutions.
Yeah.
If you bring an international expert, they will tell you is from within, without our
exactly
setup.
Yes.
So therefore, he doesn't know the realities.
Yes.
We're contending with doing business in this environment.
Exactly.
It's the reason why we have this approach. We bring you real business people to
A
actually
local
share the
Ugandan.
experience. Yes.
A person you can know where he grew up from, like this man here.
Yeah.
People from Busoga know him.
Yes. Yes.
And they will even be calling him.
And
they know his home.
At that point, I'll come to him to introduce himself properly and tell us what you do or what kind of business or lines of businesses are you involved in.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Boyji. By names, I'm called Majino Yasin Wilbur, popularly known as Plan B. That's my business name, and later I formalized it as my company.
Plan B.
Plan B.
I would like to hear more about that. Yes.
So, like that umbrella of Plan B, I've created some series of business.
Okay.
But majorly, it has been fish. Fish has been. I've concentrated a lot in marketing.
Okay.
Because that's where I entered in. Of course, fish is a broad business. There's marketing, farming, fishing, the nets, But for me, I'll put myself at the other end of marketing.
You connect the guys to the market.
Yeah, the market, the fish farmers, the fishermen. So I've been more in fishing, in fish as the fishing sector, but majorly in marketing.
I hear you.
Yeah.
So are you doing this in Buyende, or you've
that's
expanded it to other?
That's where it all started. Of course.
You can give us the background who you are and then how you are.
Of course, I'm a man from Buyende, along the shores of Lake Choga. That's Ingo landing site. That's where the really home is.
That's your base.
And that's where everything started,
I hear you.
even in business. I'm the firstborn among 7 to my mom, and firstborn to my dad. We are 3. My mom, unfortunately, is a single mom, so I'm behind her with the 7.
I hear you.
Yeah. The life, I choose to be in Buyende and start in Buyende because that's where I saw my potentials.
I get
it. I remember my mentor in business, via the training, they told me never to excuse myself for not finding where to invest or the business opportunity. It is to start where you are. So I started where I was, and that was Buyende. That was Buyende.
At the base, proper.
At the base. So I started at the base in Buyende.
Okay.
Everything started there. And of course, as you accomplish this, you move on as a plan B.
At the beginning, there's, because you need to unpack this for me, and I'm sure there are university students listening to you.
Indeed.
There's some fresh graduates listening to you.
Indeed.
Because our topic today, we're looking at that, how someone can use that little money,
That
upkeep money from university to actually start a business.
Yeah, okay. It all started like this. While I was in senior 6, A-level, my A-level, I struggled for school fees. So someone came in, he was a strong businessman, and I call him my dad. He's called Mr. Friday, Namada in Busia. So he called me on board to help him in business. But the payment was fees.
Okay.
I support you with the fees, but still I see some abilities in you. You can help me, support me in business. So I supported him in his business,
and
he
was
supported
paying the school
me.
fees.
So after my senior 6, fortunately I did very well. Very well. They said I went on government.
Okay.
So that one I think rendered Mzee to be kind of, I needed him, but now not for fees, because the government has already taken me to Makere. So when I reached Makere, the issue now wasn't what I was doing to raise fees. The fees were already catered for government, by the government. So income became what? A problem. So it's just like doing something, we normally call it at campus, like a side business, to earn something. Kind of. So I started all like that, but though at the end, I didn't see it coming that it would be a bigger thing.
Okay.
Yeah. So like capital, as people say, capital is a problem to start. To me, I also saw it because fish is a little bit capital intensive.
Yes.
But I wanted to start to the way I was seeing it. So I wanted to start with a little, and I was looking at maybe 5M as my starting capital, and which was not the case. And if you remember very well, when Mariam Leva was the Chancellor of Makerere, there was that chaos in 2012. It's GA of embezzled, is living out allowance, what? And we were the victims. We were the government. We were demanding our areas for the first semester, that's 2012. Then the next semester, that is for the last semester of our second year. So
your allowances didn't come.
I come to Mr. Chichi in that training after hearing there is money in the bank.
Okay.
You can look for it, then invest in the bank. So particularly I was looking for the 5M, so that I started.
That was the youth venture capital
The youth
money.
venture,
Oh, yes, the government program.
They said now you can get the 5 million.
Yes.
You can get the 5 million, then invest it. You either get it as a group in the bank, or you borrow using the Sachwit. The group, it wasn't there. The Sachwit wasn't there.
It was you.
It was me that was there. So I went to Enterprise Uganda. I attended the training. Out of the training, I went to look for the 5M. After the training, I was no longer looking for the 5M. The idea I got, that you can never use a loan to start a business. A loan should really facilitate a business, should make the business move, not to start a business. That's the idea I got from Enterprise Uganda. And I went back home, I internalized everything, and what I came up with, no, I must look for something small to start with. Coincidentally, now university sorts everything, they pass our areas. So it amounted to 1.5, around 1.4, 1.5 there, which was, to me, was very big.
It was a blessing.
A very good blessing, because by then, purchasing the smallest unit of fish stock to Kenya, it was at least 100 kilograms. So there are people like my former boss, Mr. Friday, was now controlling almost the whole of Lake Chog. He has the trucks there, he has every facility there. So I requested him if I could get capital. I buy it a little. He takes it to the market, I get something, which he did for me. I got I call it Mariam labor money, because because it was via Mariam labor. Then when they paid off Mariam labor money, I invested the money. And not even all. Remember, I was looking for the 5M. I've got 1.4, but I was seeing it as much.
Because your mind had been free to actually look at other aspects, not
other
just the money.
aspects, of course. Now, the guy has given me a way forward of at least buying 100 kilograms worth of 600,000. And at hand, I have 1.4, meaning it was already excess when it comes to capital. So that's why the living out allowance starts the journey.
So you start.
Yeah.
Paint for us a picture. You start with that amount of fish.
Yes.
How does it
still
grow?
A student.
Yes, you're still a student.
Yeah, I was a second year by then.
You were still a second year.
Yeah.
How were you able to juggle this, business? Because I see a number of students who tell you, "I'm still a student."
Yes.
Yeah.
And I can't do ABCD and Y.
Indeed. And maybe I call it a chance. For me, I didn't have that excuse. I saw it as an opportunity, because at least my course had gaps. I had 2 lectures a day, and these lectures were spaced, very well spaced. If you do one in the morning, the other one will be in the evening. That was one. Then I didn't have weekend lectures. Over the weekend, I was totally free. So I could move from Kampala every Friday evening to Uyende, so that I be part of the business right from where it comes from.
The entire process.
Then on Sunday, I go to Malaba to monitor. Then from Malaba, I come back for the lectures on Monday.
Wow.
So it was quite a long cycle. but I got adopted to it, and at the end, it worked for me.
Hold it there. Charles, what are we picking from here?
Yeah.
Very interesting picture in there, and then you also begin to see how sometimes we do not stretch our young people in a better way. The young man had already something going on with him, and he knew that the benefactor who was paying his school fees, who was having some opportunity for him. If you had told him that, please, there's youth money, but come and do welding, immediately he would never think about the opportunity, which was a low-hanging opportunity with Uncle Friday. You called him?
Friday Namada.
Friday Namada.
Yes.
That opportunity does exist, and you can see if you are introducing somebody into business, if they can pick something more of a low-hanging fruit they can run away with quickly, support them.
Yeah.
So that to me was a key learning. If the father had gone and said, no, 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 you, my son, I don't want to see you doing anything else, you must go to the stationery, have a chat with him, have a conversation with him. So he went into this fish because in his senior 6, Uncle Friday had already introduced him to the game of handling fish business.
And he had seen the dynamics.
He had seen
of
it.
course.
So giving him a chance to talk would make you know that there's a low-hanging fruit somewhere, which even if you are the adult who thinks you know a bit more than they do, you'd actually see his sense if you had allowed him to talk. That was the first learning. But number 2, you also discover that there is this element of our people having self-discipline in consuming resources. We've always seen that young people do not handle resources well.
Yeah.
He accesses his money. He sees the first thing for this money is not the good shoes. I have suffered a lot. My mom is a single mom. I'm now here coming to this campus, and this man has come in, and I'm sure his colleagues bought either good mattresses or good watches or good belts or something like that. He said, no, my money now must go into a process where it will begin to expand. So he already had that control and self-discipline of saying, I can control my money. But he picks some of the things that are central in our training. We normally tell people that start where you are with what you have. He believed it. And he knew this is a Kampala boy now, but gets this good money, only to run with it to Buyende.
Yes.
But he was running there because he was familiar with what was going to do.
While others are saying, I can't go back to the village.
I cannot associate
I'll
with
do
that place
anything
again.
possible to stay in town.
Indeed.
No, I think that's a powerful one, because I like the fact that he had this idea that the capital he needs is 5 million.
Yes.
At the beginning.
Yes.
But after the reconfiguration,
Yes.
he's like, no, with 1.5, I'm good to go.
I'm
Exactly.
good to go. Indeed.
And
Indeed.
he even said it was even much.
Yeah.
And then said, these excuses of thinking I have no time. You had how it treated that element of managing time.
Yes.
And you know that even as adults, when you are working in the office, you say, I'm a busy person. Monday to Friday, I'm very busy. I work up to late in the evening and I'm very tired. And you know what? The moment you tell the brain that, indeed by 5 o'clock, you sound, you feel very tired.
I mean, look at that schedule. You have Kyoga, Lake Kyoga, Busia, Makere, and the books.
And the books.
And the business.
Yes.
I mean, it is, and I think it is quite powerful because, you know, as a young person, there's a lot you can do.
Indeed.
Your body is still energetic.
Correct.
You can do so much. And I think many of our young people are actually wasting a lot of time.
And we can actually let him tell us, did you finish your course? Because somebody might be saying, let's hear whether he finished the course. With that kind of a schedule, did he finish his course?
Exactly.
Of course.
Yeah.
No, like
this is on record. So if whatever he says here,
absolutely.
Makere is just...
Makere is just no, like in my course, I think my course was one of the most crowded courses by then.
Okay.
Yeah, because we were over 600. Today, they even divided into 2 groups. Day section, 2 groups.
Which course is this?
It was development studies. Then boarding in an evening, still into 2 groups. Not only that, day and evening. No.
Yeah.
Meaning we're almost 4 classes in a single course. But this was record, at least I among the best performing in the in class.
Wow, that's
Yeah,
great.
in
That's
class.
great.
What
Yeah.
was the class of the degree you got?
I got a second
Second upper.
a second upper. I was there is some friend of mine called Lawrence that got a first class,
Uh-huh.
and this is a guy that could really see me as a resourceful person. So he could come to me, let's do this. And
Can you
remember, for me, I had no time. He could only get me when I'm off in my businesses.
And that person that used to help is the one then who got a first class.
Yeah,
And you ended up with the upper,
for a second class upper.
second class upper.
Yeah.
That's a super
Yeah.
performance.
That's a
Yeah.
good one. That's a
Yeah.
good one indeed.
Mm.
So you've begun operation
Yes.
at Kyoga.
Yes.
You're buying fish.
Yeah.
Paint for us. Walk us through the journey. How big is your... Okay, how do you grow that fish operation for starters
No, like
to
well,
where it is today?
well and good. To the point where I started,
Mm.
the most fortunate part of it was the profit margin. It
Okay.
was a bit big because for per 100 kilograms I could at least get 200,000, and this could be twice a week.
Okay.
Meaning every week I could manage to save 400.
Mm.
So if I moved like say 10 weeks, I would still rock the 5 millions that I was looking for.
Wow.
Mm.
And
Now on
the-
his own.
And now the essence of looking for the 5 million wasn't to work to work under someone, was at least to hire a truck, buy a certain quantity that is minimally can move a truck
truck.
to the border.
On
to,
your
to,
own
to Busia
now.
on my own.
Mm.
So I started with this 600 so that I get the 5M
Mm.
that can
Total
minimally
saving.
make me move that minimum quantity for export to Busia or Malaba. So after a period of 4-5 months, that money was with me.
You had it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So now I leave Muzei that I was helping me transport to the market. Now I hire a truck
On your own.
on my own. I decided, okay, this is my money. Let me try. It was risking. Like I hire a truck, everything on me, and every risk on me, whether it is movement or what, the drivers, the truck, because the guy that hired me the truck said in case of anything, I need my truck. Yes.
Hold it there. What principles helped you to move from, the armpits of Mosei to now expanding your capital to a point where
Oh.
you can now be on your own, have your own truck?
Yes.
Because most businesses,
Yeah.
that's where it really gets
Yeah, you feel
crowded.
comfortable
Yes.
to be
Yes.
under the wings of
Yes.
someone.
Like from Mzee, it had limits. Remember I told you, though I had the 1.5 that could help me buy more than 100, but it was an offer. At least you buy this. No cost, no what. You see?
So it was helping you initially.
In case Mzee is taking, say, 2 tons, and for you also looking for another 2 tons, in actual sense, you'll own the business together.
Yeah,
And that one, Mzee couldn't accept it.
of course.
And I wasn't a partner, he was just helping me. Yeah.
Mm.
So here, if I expanded the business within his, it couldn't
couldn't.
make sense. And to me, I have the money that is enough to do something towards Mzee.
How did you save that money? I mean, I'm thinking the discipline, how you manage to actually,
Yeah.
because
Is it
I mean,
200 per trip.
yes, you have contending needs here and there.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure you had people you were supporting,
Yes.
even back home,
Yes.
given the picture you've painted for us,
Yes,
of the family
yes.
where you come from.
Yes.
How are you managing to make this money grow, even at that stage?
As I told you, the turnover was at least twice a week, and the profit margin was that much. If you're earning, say, 400 per week, it means a month, it is 1.6. However much you're extravagant, you can't tell me you'll spend the 1.6 at university.
I hear you.
Yeah. So at least you'd save $1 million. What part of like if it is 1.6, at least I saved $1 million. And 600 a month, at least beyond doubt, it can facilitate someone at campus.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
I think,
Yeah.
dear viewers, you can be part of the discussion. I mean, if you look on the screen, those are some of Yasin's establishments. You've seen the real estate projects he's into. He's into fish farming. He's into cattle rearing. He's I mean, Plan B is really Plan B. He's spread his wings in various sectors.
Indeed.
And I think, you know, there are very critical lessons to pick from his story. And we want to hear from you, because we want to have this as, you know, engaging as possible, and we want to involve you as much as possible. For any questions or comments, there's a number on the screen. Just send a WhatsApp for that comment. It will be answered. Any question that you want Yasin here to answer, and Charles, would like to pick your mind on that. So Yasin, how big is your operation today, I mean, in the fish subsector?
In the fish.
Before we go into the other sectors, because it seems this is the mother
Yeah, the
investment.
mother.
Yes.
At the moment, at least it's at a bigger level. Because fish, as I told you, is a big sector. People look at it as something small, but fish, you can never exhaust it. You have to only to concentrate on a certain kind of aspect in it.
Yeah.
You can never be the farmer, then you market it, then you export it. It's always hard.
Yeah.
So as I told you, I put more efforts on marketing, and I looked at the major markets. Here in Uganda, we have Busega, Bwaise, Busia, and Malaba. Those are the major markets. So my aim and my dream was at least to deliver fish to each of those markets. And I can tell you, at least at the moment, I'm living my dream.
You're able to deliver to Malaba,
each
Bwaise.
of those markets.
What are the frequencies and sizes like?
Like
For each of
for
those.
Malaba, it is daily.
What do you deliver?
How much do you deliver daily?
Daily, at least I can deliver 2 tons daily. That's worth around 18 to 20 daily to Malaba. Millions. Then Busia, at least I can deliver a ton daily. Yeah. Then for Busia, it caters the far western Kenya, say Kisumu. Then for Malaba, still it is Malaba up to Bungoma, the far western Kenya.
Yes.
Then I look at Busega. Busega, there is a lot of demand as well for fish here in Kampala. So for us, at the beginning, I thought the only market is Malaba and Busia. Then I had people making money in Busega. So I applied the training kind of knowledge of accomplishing and moving on. You accomplish and move. So I went to Malaba, I rented a house, I got my truck for almost a year there. At least I was building all the necessary tools to facilitate that market.
And all that.
When I'm not there, right from the staff to the
you
customers,
you put a system.
A system.
It's certain there to put a system.
So I was there for almost a full year.
Wow.
And after seeing that Malaba can move on while I'm not there,
You ticked that box and moved.
Yeah, I accomplished. I left. I said, okay.
Charles,
manager,
what do we pick from here?
Yes.
Just saying, hold it there. In the mean.
Here is the message. There are things that he has just brought out which are very fundamental for any business person. Number one, internal growth, what they call in some high language, organic growth. Ability to save the profit you made and put it to raise your capital. Earn more profit, raise your capital. That is fundamental for anybody who wants to succeed in business. But then number two, he also recognizes that a business cannot just be announced today that I'm in Malaba and it begins to roll. You've got to get into Malaba and understudy and put the systems that make Malaba work. Once you do that, then only then should you start to move to the next destination.
Yes.
Otherwise, if you put a shallow route in Malaba, a shallow route in Busega, a shallow route in Bwaise, you're gone.
Yeah.
So that is something he needs to continue doing, because in our training when we say accomplish and move, accomplish and move, that accomplishing is not just acquiring capacity to do something. That capacity is not just only in terms of equipment or technology, systems, human resources, and all it takes to make that particular stage to work must be accomplished. then you can move.
I love the system aspect.
Yes,
Yes.
the system.
So you finish Malaba,
Yes.
Busia. So what do you, where do you move? Because I'm really enjoying this. 'Cause,
Yes.
like I said, this seems to be the foundation of all the other investments.
Yes.
Correct, yeah.
Of course, as I told you, I was targeting the really. You remember, Mr. Charles, that business understands nothing. Doesn't know your friend, doesn't know your relative, doesn't know your father or what.
Correct.
But 5 things: the supplier, the customer, the government, bank,
Stuff.
and staff.
Yeah.
Those are the 5 elements.
So while I was in Malaba, still I was looking at that. Is my business, the government, is it following the government rules and regulations? The ministry, the Ministry of Agriculture, I do have the licenses.
Yes.
So after seeing that, okay, banking, how will I be receiving my money? The sales, how will be the banking, so on. I put all that. The customers, as I leave my boys, I don't guarantee them sales. I have to leave them with the person who will buy the fish. And for them not to cheat me, it is me selling indirectly, though they are the ones delivering.
They do the manual.
They do the manual, but
behind the scenes,
behind the scenes, I'm there.
you're in charge of the system.
Yeah, every morning I have to tell them, so and so wants this. Send to this way, send this amount of fish. So at the end, I'm part of everything, though I'm not on the ground.
You can't do business by remote.
Yeah. So I am part of every stage of my business. Though, if you find my phone early morning, it is taking orders. I want this, I'm this way. New customers, old customers are coming in.
I hear you.
Yes.
So you roll from that side, now you come to Kampala.
No, like from Malaba, I went to Busia, still there for another year.
Okay.
After seeing that, I stationed some number of boys there. They do it very well.
I hate you.
Now, after that, I come to Kampala. That's Kampala, that is Busega. Now, and the other part of this business is brands. The only thing that really has enabled me succeed and grow is branding.
Tell me about the branding, because
Yeah.
most of the people in fishmongering, I mean, fish is fish.
Yes.
Yes.
Charles, I mean, when we go to the
Yes.
market,
Yeah.
I haven't seen any. Who brands?
I know. No, like that's to you, but to me that is in
I
that
hear
is
you.
in there.
I get
I
you.
know.
Tell me about
Fish,
it.
it has a lot of brands. I can say, brands. I can say it starts from sizing.
Okay.
Of course, the fish that Mr. Chichi will buy, the size that he wants, it's not the size someone in YSL will buy.
Yeah.
Ochichi can afford a single head of fish at 40,000.
Yes.
Someone in Katanga wants one of 1,000.
But he also wants the fish.
But he also wants fish.
Yes.
So you have to sit and see which kind of customers, which kind of customer am I
Yes.
targeting.
And their needs.
Yeah,
Market
so
segmentation.
for me, I realized I branded myself with a certain size of fish,
Okay.
with a certain size, especially
And
at
with
the
a
bottom.
particular market segment in
Yes.
Yes.
Now when you come to Malaba, they need small fish. Busega, they need big fish. And when the supplier is supplying you, they can't say this is small. They will give you at once.
A mix.
A
mind.
mix.
I hear you.
So if you build a market of big versus small, it means the supplier will be contented that this one takes my stock fully.
Thank you, Yasin.
Yes.
You hold it there.
Yes.
As Charles comes in here, as you think about, because we want you to walk us through how you now came up with the idea of diversifying.
Indeed.
And why those particular businesses.
And
Yes.
it's now in Kenya as well.
Exactly. Charles, the key learning so far.
Yeah, I think this is very, very fundamental. We keep on telling people that there is one customer, one authority who can dismiss anybody from business.
Yeah.
And that one authority is called the customer. If he wants a small size of a fish, please understand him and deliver the fish. The other one needs a certain size of a fish. Please understand him and deliver that fish.
Yeah.
And please do not try to coerce them or convince them that even this one is okay. The thing has got too many small bones. The man has enough money to buy a fish
big
with
one.
good
A big
bone size.
Let's
Yeah,
do this work.
Yes.
Yes.
So please, I think if we are seen can keep up with that game, he can only be stopped by himself.
Market
The market is
segmentation.
available. Yeah.
Yes.
That
Very
ability
important.
to know
Very
that this is
important.
Boise.
Yeah.
You don't just deliver all the fish and just say, you people just see what to do.
Yes.
The Boise man who is buying the things wholesale from you knows his market. He says, please give me this. If you bring the big one also, I'm going to give you a low price.
Yes.
Because my people cannot buy it at the price you are talking at.
Thank you, Charles. We'll pick it from there. On that note, viewers, we're going to take a very short commercial break. And we'll pick, I've seen a number of messages coming through on WhatsApp. Yasin and Charles are welcome back, viewers. It is still Business Tips with Enterprise Uganda. And our guest today is Yasin Mageno, all the way from Buyende. He's a fishmonger, but today is actually beyond a fishmonger. I would like to call him a trader in fish, or a businessman for that matter, because his interests have now spread beyond the fish industry. So, Yasini, I understand you have operations beyond the confines of Uganda.
Yes.
Tell us about that.
The operations beyond the Uganda, we have been in particularly we have been in Kenya side.
Okay.
Because here in East Africa, Kenya has the biggest demand for fish. For them, fish is a very, very big component when it comes to their diet.
Samaki.
It's samaki, anakula samaki sana.
Okay.
So I've been more of Kenya.
Yeah.
We tried other countries, but they're not commercial.
Okay.
But so Kenya is very, very commercial. You can find a single trader buying a full truck at once. Gives you the money, you go. And that's what I'm doing.
I hear you.
So as the brand, as I told you, branding. I branded myself along the border. That's Malaba and Busia. And these people across, of course, if they want fish, they're always here. Who is there? Who is in the market?
I agree. Now, moving on, because I know behind that fairly wide operation,
Yes.
Busia, Malaba, Busega, Bwaise,
Yes.
there are people that you employ.
Yes.
How do you manage your human resource? How do you deal with that and ensure that these guys actually deliver your vision?
Yes. Like my staff, that's they're around 51, I can say. If you look at the whole system, they're around 51. But as I told you, at every point of my business, however much I'm there, I put a system of at least, it's like a pin. They reach a certain point when it is me to do it. Just like you do have a system that however much you do this, at a certain point you have to come back to me. How should we do this?
Okay.
Just like in Kenya, I tell you, in the morning, it is me who knows which quantity to be delivered to Kenya, which one is going to Tororo, which one is ending in Malaba, and who is taking it.
So you built a system where you didn't cut yourself out.
I'm
You're part of
within.
the system.
Yes.
Okay.
So here, contact calling becomes a very big component.
Okay.
You may find that in the morning, unfortunately, these people make all those operations at once in the morning. Busega in the morning, Waisa in the morning. You go to Malaba in the morning, Busia in the morning. So if you don't, I control them almost on remote.
Okay.
Do this, go this way, deliver this, right from the driver to the manager. And the manager, there is a manager who is just in administration. There is the one in writing, recording. There is the one dealing with the finance. So if someone told me we sold a ton of fish, so those are 10 millions. The person handling the finances will tell me, I banked the 10 millions.
Okay. You double check that.
Yeah, so the driver will tell me, we delivered.
A ton.
Yes, and the receipt, the invoices are there.
That's a good one.
So if you went, say, to Masaka, you bought a ton of fish, and you take it to Malaba, did it reach? Was it still a ton?
That's a good one.
Yes.
So beyond fish, where else have you invested?
Yeah, we have. As I told you, my major aim has been diversifying.
Okay.
At not only looking at fish, but I looked at fish as a big opportunity to finance other businesses. There is at first when we go back to the end, I first look at border borders. These border borders, I looked at in 2 ways, in fact 3 ways. First is to impact the community. In the village, my mom was sick, but even getting to the clinic, there was no way to take her to the clinic. No means. So at the end, I impacted the community. If you buy certain border borders or 16 border borders, they can help the community. They pay you, but at the end they feel you're helping them.
You're delivering convenience in the movement.
For convenience and ease. Then the other thing, those border borders help me to transport my fish from the very deep destinations where there is fish, but the trucker can't reach there. So the border goes and pick it.
That was smart.
And at the end, I'm helping these youth because 16 border borders, those are 16 people. And each border has a friend that will always give a chibalua to their friend.
You understand that dynamic very well.
So they feel you. You feel the community. They feel your impact. Yes. So then beyond border borders, I put up mobile money outlets. They're around 8.
8.
Yeah. In fact, my elder sister is behind everything. Is managing.
She's managing that space.
Yes.
That's
and if there are 8 outlets, those are 8 more jobs I've created for them. I can get someone in the village, he says, help me, this kid wants a job, this one. I'm giving her a job, but doing business for me in actual sense. So it really, those things, the border borders and the mobile money, have really benefited just like in the community. It has really impacted in the community.
You bring out a very important aspect, again, before you talk about the other businesses. How do you manage a relative, you know, in business? How do you keep her in line to actually deliver, like the others of your...
There will be many uncles, neighbors saying, please, even my daughter is here.
Yes.
Please, you assisted the other one the other day. How about...
Now...
You even ate our mangoes here while growing up.
Still, it goes back into system. I look into my, if I look at a person, be it my sister or what, but you have the credentials to do my business as per my system.
It's capacity.
Yeah, I create a system, like in mobile monies, these people have a center to pick the money.
Okay.
Then after picking the money, in the evening they have to deposit that money again on my DTB account. So at the end, I can sign like 5 check leaves. I live with the sister to withdraw the money and give it back to them. Even meaning that one creates, like, though I'm not there, the manager, while they are withdrawing the money, when they take the check, you'll have to call me. That really, have you sent these people for money? And at that point, I'm being part of my business. Yes.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yes.
So where else have you gone beyond mobile money and border border?
I'm into farming.
Okay.
Yeah, I think now it is over 150 heads of cattle, over 300 sheep, over 250 goats. It's a mixed farm, like goats, sheep, cows, birds. They are all there. So
those are a lot of businesses to...
Yes.
I'm just wondering. Don't you wake up sometime in the night saying chicken or sheep or something?
Yeah,
in the middle of the night?
You know, like sometimes...
How do you manage?
It is always good to fully utilize space and opportunities.
Yeah.
Like I had space somewhere. There were some wrangles, and I looked at what to do with that space. And if, say, every week there's a livestock market in our village there in Uganda, if every week I bought, say, 2, and I put in that farm, in the rotation of 1 year, there'll be much. So I started like that, and now it's a big farm. I'm looking at expanding it. Very big.
Very interesting.
And you know, if you have over 100 heads of cows, like, meaning every 1 year, you get more 100.
Yeah. I hear you. I'm going to ask my producer to run some of the pictures of Yasin's investments.
Yes.
But as he does that, and as Charles comes in and we go through the comments and questions of our viewers, I know you were into real estate. What kind of real estate are you doing as well?
I'm looking at rentals. But before rentals, I told you of my background at home in the family.
Yeah.
This is a mom that was sleeping in a grass-thatched house. I'm here at university, but I'm even afraid of picking a friend. So if you're my friend, I take you to the village in Buyende. I make you sleep in a grass-thatched house. Some of them, they have never even seen them.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So I first looked at changing the image and status of my home and my family, right from the paternal and maternal side. So that's when I started some big constructions right from the village, not in town. So I did a construction for my mom, my construction, then some other constructions right in the village. As I was doing that in around Kampala, I was concentrating on purchasing plots, prime plots. And now that I'm done with the village, I'll concentrate on developing my plots around Kampala.
Viewers, I have to mention that Yasin is 28 years. He's a man in his 20s, and you can see his vision is quite broad. And like Charles said at the beginning, and I agree, and indeed want to add that the business language is a universal language. He's young, but there's a lot we can learn from him. Charles.
Yeah, there are so many things we pick from the story of Yasin, and I think a few can be shared right now. One of them is that before Yasin discovered this principle of accomplish and move, he would have been like many of us. You do one good thing, you move from 10 cows to 150, the entire village is celebrating you, you settle there. But he's still living the message which says accomplish and move, accomplish and move. That is one key thing that I think we all need to know, that if you do not have that desire and the need to improve what you have all the time, it is easy to quickly compare yourself to where you have come from and settle.
Yes.
This man has left his background by so many miles.
Yes.
But he's still saying, no, the God that created me wanted me to make some transformation in this country, and I'm going to keep going and keep going and keep going. You've seen the trucks he's owning.
Yeah.
How many trucks do you have?
There are 3 trucks.
3 lorries.
Yeah.
By the time you own 1 lorry in this country, we talk about you way beyond your village, way beyond your district.
You even start working with a swag.
Yeah.
Anyway, Charles, I think let's move to the questions.
Yes.
I have many questions here, tons of them.
Yes.
Some going to Yasini. One of them is, did you have a girlfriend at campus? But as you think about that, someone is, I think it's Brighton from Barara, is saying, at what stage did you think about registering your company?
Yes.
I don't know which one you want to start with.
Yeah. I think I will start with the last one.
Okay.
I registered my company way back. When I thought of a mobile money business, by then it was the easiest business to start. So I thought of starting it, but by then, MTN conditioned you to register a company so that they give you the lines. That's when I opened, I registered the company.
Okay.
And that's how I got the Plan B name. So it is a Plan B Gaps, Uganda Limited. So it's a registered company.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
I love the name though. It's a
Yeah.
good one. Yes. Then I have Ben Gaboy is saying, how did you manage the costs and savings at the same time, especially at the beginning? That balance.
The costs and savings.
The costs you were incurring.
Yes.
And then being able to save still. Because many times someone is doing a business, but the costs are eating into.
But of course.
And I think as you come into that question,
yes,
you are the firstborn. In an African setting, it's common for elder children to begin to take hold of the younger ones and take them to school.
Actually, we call them deputy parents.
Yes, I've done that. In fact, if we are 7, the 6, mommy doesn't know where they started from. I pay over 5 million every term for them. And I've always told them, I want them to live like sons and daughters of a minister. I've taken them to big schools. And I just want to impact my family, first, as I told you.
Yeah.
So the other thing, like he said, managing costs. You can never realize a saving or a profit minus deducting the cost. I can say I've saved 500 when it is less the what?
The cost.
So I've already managed their costs. I can't say I've saved 400 without deducting the costs. Yeah.
I hear you.
Yeah.
So you devised a means of managing that cost element.
The cost of
Was
business.
it by being frugal?
Sometimes these costs become, however much they save, they are variable and fixed costs. Other costs become fixed.
Okay.
Just like in my business. Every time the trucker leaves Kampala and go to Malaba, it is the same cost of fuel. The same amount I pay the driver.
Yeah.
The labor, I'll have to pay the same. If there are some government dues to pay, they are the same. However much they are variable, they become fixed in nature. Yeah. So I can, if I self-deliver the ton and I have a gross of 1M, I can only save the 300 after deducting all that.
Yes.
Yes.
Charles, I have someone here asking me.
Yeah.
We're asking, what are the first considerations to begin when one is beginning a business? Picking from what Yasin is telling us.
The first thing you need to do if you want to get into a business is to look at what solution can you take to the market and you get a customer in the shortest time possible. And that solution, one, should be something you are able to quickly learn how it works. Two, you've got sufficient resources to actually get that solution to be done the way it's required by the customer. And I want to just give an example. For example, what Yasin has been doing here. He said, I know fish very well because my uncle called Friday took me there. So he was familiar with the nature of how the fish business operates. Number two, he also said, if I'm going to get involved in beginning to earn the profit directly from the fish, I need to start with the resources within my means. And was able to handle the 100 kilograms as the first bit of it. And then later, as he made more savings, he was able to graduate and now fill a truck on his own. So please never ever imagine that there is a certain minimum capital you need to become a business person. Just ask yourself, what is that minimum size of a business solution I can deliver tomorrow, and start from there. Yasin started from being an employee. Then he put in some resources, was like just almost like an investor who was using resources of an uncle, and then was being given a bit of a shoulder, a shoulder to lean on, as he was building up his muscles. Perfect. From there, he began to build up his own chain of success. Perfect. And today he's now into fish, he's into cattle, into real estate, and all these kind of things.
Okay. Yes. Coming back to Yasin again, I have about 4 young people here asking whether you'd be willing to share the knowledge you've gotten in this business with other fairly young people, and someone is saying, like the Muzei handheld you. Yes. And while at it, again, someone is asking, did the university education help, or is it helping in your business?
Yeah. Okay. Very good question.
No, for the first question, like sharing someone with the idea I have, also with what I'm handling now. It's all about passion. Yeah. It's okay to share with you, but you're into media. Yeah. I'm in fish. Fish is my passion. You may love the success, the vehicles I'm owning, but the plots, but when you don't have the real passion.
That's the point Charles made, I think.
Yeah, exactly. The problem my brothers and sisters, the fresh graduates do that are looking for business, they never follow their passion. They look at, so Charles has succeeded in real estate, and they think of real estate, but are you there? Can you do? Do you love it? I have many graduates, including my OBs, that always come to me. How do I start that fish business? There's fish. There's money in fish. Yes, there is money, but how to get it?
I hear you.
Yes. First of all, this kind of it sounds like being arrogant. There is nothing you can brief me about fish, because something I know.
It's within you now.
So it is just within me. It's just part of me. I have some friends that save my contacts in their phones as fish. So, so I do it because it is, I have the passion.
It is your thing.
Yeah, I know it.
I
You
hear
can't introduce anything about fish, like when you're telling me that fish is done like this. No.
Okay.
So if fish is their passion, I can share.
Sorry. Again, because I have many
but
questions.
there's that aspect of
Yes.
was it the university?
Yeah,
Yeah.
There's another person
relevance
that
of the
about
university.
the relevance of.
Oh, yes, the university. Yes.
Yes.
To me, well, remember I was into it before campus.
Oh yeah.
So I'm a kind of a person who has never seen what we call a university transcript. Not only mine, but I don't know how a transcript looks like.
He finishes his
Though I
school.
graduated with good grades, I've never gone to back to Makerere like looking forward.
To pick your transcript.
Even this thing they say, is it clearing?
I hope it is safe. You know the main building.
Yeah.
Sadly, had some issues.
There's the clearing before you can be given
I
your.
have not even done the clearing.
But your name was in the list of those
I
who have
graduated
graduated.
very
Yeah.
well.
I hear
Yes.
Even when you check the list of 2015, I'm there.
you. I hear you.
Yes, but I've never. So to me, you have benefited in this education right from senior P1 up to university in two things: knowledge. The business I'm doing is predominantly for the illiterate.
They call them the informal sector.
Yeah, informal sector.
Charles, do we
Yes.
pick something there?
Yes.
Mm.
Complete the second thing
Yeah,
you pick from the education.
Fish, most times, because it is done in the raw areas, it is in the raw setting.
Yes.
It is very hard to find a graduate, an elite
In that space.
in that space. But I'm there, competing with these illiterates.
Informal sector.
Yes.
Which is another interesting thing because
Yes,
it presents.
Yes.
It again poses a question of how you manage to blend in.
Yes.
Because you see, sometimes a bit tricky.
Yeah.
As an educated person,
Yes.
I know
You mix with
fishermen and they have their dynamics.
yes.
which I
Yes,
understand
their
very
language
well.
and
Of
their
course.
How do
character.
you manage to blend in and do good business?
And that's why the education comes in. The way I handle things.
Yeah.
I don't think down there in Buyende, in Kalanga or Masaka, there's any fisherman that can do a record from where I started. For me, even when you ask me the records of my first sales in 2010, I have them.
Very good.
So when it comes to banking, if I go for a loan and they ask for my records, even when they send an auditor, could go through my, of which that creates a difference and it adds a value on my business. Yes. The management, the system I've already told you about.
Yes. Yes.
Someone that is not educated cannot do that system.
That's right.
So, and then the other benefit with education is the network.
Yes.
The network.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that is very, very important.
Yeah, the
Very
network.
true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm here, I can contact someone in Nairobi, that how is the market in Nairobi? How is the market in Rwanda? How is the market in Kampala? The network. Last time I was called by my OB in Nairobi that my father has got a contract to supply certain big hotels in Nairobi with the fish. So they need 500 kilograms of fish daily. And I had to grab that business. She's a lady I did the same course with at Makerere. So that's network.
In fact, that is the first question you talked about, keeping records and stuff, I think ties in with what Daudi here. Daudi Bugaga is trying to ask whether you have a well-articulated and written business plan.
The business plan, but it is already there. Right, as I told you, I went looking for 5M to invest, to hire a truck. Sometimes that also kills people who are looking for business.
Yes.
They think business is papers. You have to see it, you calculate. But an idea can be just with you, in mind. And if you're smart, you can take it from mind to practical kind of operations. The business... The people who say you write a business proposal, we do this, we finance you, do this, you rotate around. You'll move with your proposal when you've not gotten started. And for me, was my proposal in my mind. I'll start and I'll keep moving. Yeah.
I think that's okay. Charles, Of course, I don't want you to tire from people are asking me every day how they can be part of the Enterprise Uganda sessions, picking from, you know, what Yasin has learned from Enterprise Uganda, and of course, what you pick from Yasin's submission.
I want Ugandans to know one thing, that everything that we discuss here on Sunday evenings, it is practical, it's being done by Ugandans, and another Ugandan can do them. In other words, it's possible to replicate the success stories that you are hearing from here. And at Enterprise Uganda, we have carved out training programs to exactly instill the kind of business mindset that shapes people like Yasin and makes the man now not to fear millions of shillings or cross the borders and do business. So at Enterprise Uganda, we have training programs for beginners. Training program now for a man like Yasin is still a training candidate for all Enterprise Uganda services. There is no way you reach where Yasin has reached and now you think you are beyond being trained. But the humility to keep learning as you keep on hearing from him is fundamental and key. So I want again to give just my telephone number here. It is 0772 699 808. But I want to say it again. When the restrictions brought upon us by this pandemic are lifted because the thing has passed, like many of you, the parents who have got sons and daughters at the age of Yasin, like many of you who have been saying, how do I get involved in business? Reach us at your earliest opportunity. Enterprise Uganda is being run by ordinary Ugandans, ordinary people like all of us here, but we create extraordinary stories.
Very good, very powerful. Thanks, Charles. And I have to say, Enterprise Uganda, because there are many that keep sending us messages wanting to know the location of Enterprise Uganda. It's on Lumumba Avenue.
Yes.
The easiest way to direct you is behind Case Hospital.
Correct.
Now, Yasin, I have again a number of Ugandans here who want your contact, but I want to put this a little more clearly from Immaculate Nalunga here, who says, because I think he's saying it very powerfully, how do I get in contact with Mr. Plan B to extricate myself from the poverty-stricken environment? That is Nalunga Immaculate. Anyway, you'll talk about, you'll give, I think you'll share how they can get in touch with you. And, you know, but COVID-19 is here and it has affected a number of businesses.
Yes.
How have you managed, you know, despite, you know, these, the COVID-19 challenges?
You know, like COVID, I think it started in March, isn't it? We were operating normally, and it found me at the border. I think the first steps were closing the border. The mode of sales we make at the border, the customers that are able to move from Kenya and come to buy fish, they do. And they are those are I think 80%. They come, buy fish and go back. So when they closed the border, meaning they were locked up the other side. And it means we're dealing almost in a black box. It is me to tell her, I have this quality of fish at this price. If she really wants, she will send the money. They allow the cargo to cross the border. I load my truck, it crosses the fish, and she gets the fish their side.
I hear you.
To me, COVID-19, I think, has been my best season, I can say, in business. Even when you look at the achievements just between March and now, I can say I've bought a private car worth 30 millions. I have bought 2 trucks. One is on road, one is still held in URA, pending clearance. Just in COVID.
You've seen the opportunity.
Yeah, the opportunity. I've taken advantage of each point of COVID.
Powerful.
In fact, I take jokes with my friends like, oh, Singamze, Asibamu. He looks smarter from what they always curse me. So, but I've really taken advantage of the season, of the situation, because it has exposed more weaknesses, especially with our competitors. The few competitors that were able to, that had the system to do that. I told you of the government, the customer, the staff. Now here we came in the government. Now, if the government tells you a border can't cross the fish to Kenya, it's only a truck.
Yes.
There are those who doesn't have the truck. For me, I have it. That advantage I use
You
it.
exploit it.
Yes. There are those who doesn't know the Kenyan market. They end it at the border. So they wait for the Kenyan to come.
Yes.
For me, I can reach the, with my truck, with my cargo. So it's really, for COVID-19, it has really done me well.
I hear you.
Yes.
So as we come to the end of the interface, again, I would like to hear it from you.
Yes.
Still talking about government.
Yes.
The number of government programs targeted at the youth
Yes.
is space where you sit.
Yes.
How best do you think these programs should be, like tailored
Yes.
to meet or to be able to uplift the youths from, poverty or improve their social strata? Just briefly.
Like for government programs, I totally disagree with the direct funding.
Okay.
And if a government had any intention to fund the youth via enterprising, they would only fund or put emphasis on the youth that have already that are already started in business. They find you started, they facilitate you. But for someone that has not started to give money, it's next to giving that person a loan to start. As I told you, you can never get something to start. Always these youth are given money when they are not ready.
They don't have the training.
They
skills and
don't
everything.
even know where to put it. Just it is all a mixture of greed and the need for money.
I hear you.
If I wish I got it.
What is your last word, Yasin?
For the youth, I really encourage the youth not to take education as a destination of everything. They need to explore the private sector as well. So looking at education and papers, it doesn't define your life. If you go to Makere, it's not defining your destination, but still you can try other opportunities as well.
Yes. I hear you.
Yes.
Charles.
Yes. I want to tell Ugandans that from the story today of Yasin, we discover a few things, but one, opportunities are everywhere. Buyende would have been the last place for the first graduate in a family that struggled to take a child to school for such a graduate to go back to. He goes back to Buyende and he picks a sector that again is designated as a sector of the illiterates, the fish sector. Opportunities in this country are everywhere, but the ability to expand the resources from something you've gotten started with is the first confirmation that you have started a truly enterprising journey. I want to invite Ugandans never to miss these Sunday evenings. They are your very best opportunity to hear it from people who have done it, individuals you can trace up and follow up with, and also be able to confirm that these things can be done, and they will be done by Ugandans. I wish you well, but also invite you to come and associate with Enterprise Uganda. We're going to invite a lot more partners to come and be part of this platform. Partners from the insurance industry. We're going to get partners from the banking sector. They are going to be part of this platform. And it is going to be a platform where we discuss practical steps on how to create practical business people using what we have as a country.
Thank you very much, Charles. Yasin, I have many people asking me for your contact as well.
Yeah. There's something, I don't know, just a mint.
Very briefly.
Briefly, when it comes to capital, because for the youth, they cry of capital, and they look for where to get it. I take a case study of me. I've always worked with Finca Uganda. And Finca Uganda, right from the people at the head, I upload Madam Charity Businje and the manager, Mudamba Charles. They've always come right from the ground. These are the people that finance a business from zero with almost zero security.
Very interesting.
Yeah, so they must look for institutions
that can support them
that can support
without
much kind of restrictions and so on.
I'm sorry, that's all the time we've had for this discussion, dear viewers. has been the story of Yasini, all the way from Buyende, with Charles Ochichi, our business coach. I know there are many questions that you've sent through. We've not had a lot of time to really go through, but we'll try to actually distill and talk to them next time we're here with Charles. Thank you for being a good audience always. I've been your host, Charles Woji. Until next time, have a good evening. Bye-bye.